Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Gaming in the Wilds, a video game podcast about artistic, creative, striking video games from indie to AAA. Today we're continuing the theme of the last podcast, in which I talked about some very chill video games you can relax with and have a good time without any worries. This game that I'm talking about today is a wonderful example of a game in which the player can't die. There's no lives, restart points and things like that. It's more of an experience that you travel through, and it's a very beautiful one at that. It's a wonderful game called ABZU. The game begins when you wake up, a nameless diver floating on the ocean, a beautiful blue ocean on a sunny day with blue skies. You got some flippers on, you're kind of a humanoid, maybe not a human, your eyes are maybe a little bit towards the sides of your head. A little bit like the game Journey, more on that later, the connection. You wake up in the water and you immediately start to paddle around and get a feel for the controls of the game. You can dive beneath the surface and move with quite a lot of ease. There are a couple of fish here and there. You can get down to the bottom, see what's down there. You can swim back up to the surface with a boost, speed boost, and even breach, jump out of the water and dive back in again. It's a lot of fun right from the off. One of the first things that happens in the game is that you swim towards a tunnel opening that's kind of hazy in the distance in the water. And as you get closer to it, you come across a large fish that's just milling around with some smaller shoals. And there are a couple of prompts. It's like a little bit of a tutorial at first, you know, this open, wide area where there isn't much to see. It's really just to kind of let you get the hang of the controls, which are basically swim forward. You can move your diver to face upwards or downwards. It's not like controlling, like say you were controlling like a fighter or something like in Star Fox game or something like that. It feels underwater-ish, fittingly enough. Like you have to kind of move the controls to choose the heading of the diver, and then you can swim at a normal pace, or you can boost, and boost again. For 3 different levels of speed boost. One of the other controls is that you can grab onto a large fish or a sea creature and allow it to carry you. And after this little training level, we grab onto a large fish and it carries us through a seaweed tunnel into a quite beautiful cavern. Sun streaming through from the surface, seaweed and plants rippling on the ocean floor, shoals of fish everywhere. It's really eye-opening, eye-popping. And this humble opening sequence really lets you know that you're in for a treat. I was kind of in love with ABZU as soon as I started playing it, to be honest with you. I love games with a feeling of freedom within a 3D environment. It's something that I really enjoy. Something that I enjoyed about the fluid controls of Horizon Zero Dawn. When you're running around in the forest, you're climbing, you're sliding down ropes. It's something that I really enjoyed in Starlink, when you're controlling a spacecraft, a fighter, zooming around from skimming planet surfaces up into the heavens, flying through space, through asteroid belts. And it's something that I enjoyed in Journey. The connection that Journey has, you might have heard me talking about that game in the last podcast, to this game, is the art director who was behind Journey at that game company His name is Matt Nava. He started this company, Giant Squid, I believe. The composer for the game, you can hear his wonderful work. His name is Austin Wintory. He was also behind Journey. And so there's a lot to compare between this game and Journey. In Journey, obviously, you're a little character that can slide down sandbanks. You can fly in the air. You have a certain amount of freedom. It's always a little bit limited by the fact that you have this scarf, and when the scarf runs out of energy, you fall back down to the ground. You have to run around in the sand a little bit and trudge around. In ABZU, you always feel free. You're suspended in the water. And once you get the hang of the controls, I reversed the stick controls, and suddenly it all felt a lot easier. Rather than like piloting a submarine, it really felt like I was in control of my diver. Struggled a little bit throughout the game just to get control, but once you kind of realize that you should go slow, I think the game really comes together. You have a speed boost for when you want to cross a large area, but as you're swimming through tunnels and exploring, poking around on the ocean floor, it's best to just take this game really slow. Not worry about it too much, just enjoy the colour. The game has an amazing palette as you move through the different areas. It's like colour therapy almost, you know. There's like the bright blue of the water. Different areas have like an autumnal palette, as if there's evening sun shining into the water. It really develops visually as you move through it. It never gets boring. New sea creatures are introduced as you travel through the game, and some of them are really impressive. If you start off with a couple of kind of mid-sized fish and so forth, you can imagine, if you think about the blue planet, the kind of wonders that are down there under the ocean. Like the giant balls of fish moving as one, large sea mammals. You're gonna come into contact with all of these magical creatures, and when you do, it's very well choreographed. There's a bit of cinematography that comes in, and just makes the whole thing really special and magical. While on some scales you might think that the gameplay of ABZU is quite minimal, in that you explore small areas, you discover a couple of kind of pickups like shells and so forth. There are a couple of times when you have to get a door to open or something, and you have to activate something in a space. A little bit like Journey, and it is simple gameplay. But I'll be honest, like for the 2 or 3 hours that it took me to complete the game in one sitting, I really didn't think about anything else. You know, it's like when you watch a film that is so good, it's a pretty rare occurrence for me, that you kind of wake up at the end credits as if you're coming out of a trance. You've just been so absorbed by what you were watching that really the rest of reality has just slipped away. It's a really wonderful feeling, and ABZU brings that to the table for sure. There is a story to the game as well, a story of sorts. You'll learn a little bit about the character that you're controlling through hieroglyphs that you'll find on the walls. They tell of the civilization that came before, as you encounter some broken buildings and so forth. But you don't really have to spend time on that if you don't want to. You can try and puzzle together the pieces. Or you can really just enjoy the experience. I think on my first playthrough it was just purely experiential playthrough. I didn't try for the all of the collectibles or anything like that. There are trophies that you can get on the PS4 if you want to. I just really enjoyed the flow of the game. But there is deeper lore there if you want it. The shells are hidden in some really obscure places on sea shelves and under ruins and all sorts of things. There are statues that you can find that allow the player to sit for a moment and meditate. You can follow the different fish around the environment. You can get a trophy for finding all of those. And I think I will play through this game again and have a more detailed playthrough. But for this one I was just really enjoying the lush experience of it all. And that's fine, you know, you don't always have to be platinum trophying everything to enjoy it. I played this game on the PS4, mostly because it's on PS Now. So if you have that subscription, I paid 50 quid for a year. There's a whole library of games that you can play, so I just went ham and downloaded about 20 games. Lots of them are cool short games that I've been curious about, such as The Unfinished Swan. Journey is there, I believe, things like that. Short games, relaxing games. ABZU was one of them. It's the kind of game that you can play in 2 or 3 hours, although like as I've said, it does have replay value. I mean, it's so calming and relaxing and chill that you could just literally use it as a stress toy, you know. Just come and spend a couple of hours swimming around in ABZU, or you can go trophy hunting and try and complete the game. So I got it, as part of my PS Now subscription. It is available to buy on PlayStation 4 store for $13.99 currently, so down from $20, that is, in the US store, I think. It's on Switch. I haven't tried it on Switch, so I can't speak as to the frame rate and so forth. It held up really well on PS4. It's on Switch for £20 or dollars. I'm sorry, I've forgotten which region I've got my Switch set in at the moment when I checked the prices. It's also on Steam. If you don't feel like paying $20 or pounds for it, that's probably fair enough. It's quite a short game. It's the kind of thing that's probably going to come up on sale now and then. So you could just drop a heart on it. Keep a nice healthy wish list of the games that you're after, including ABZU. Pick it up when the price is right. Or play it now. Who cares? What the hell? That's ABZU. I think for the last part of this podcast, I'm just going to chat through a couple of other things that I've been playing. Not full reviews like this one, but just games that I've been checking out over the last week or so. Seeing as we're all in the same boat when it comes to the quarantine, staying indoors, it's a good time for games. So here are a few good ones. I've been playing Night at the Woods. It's a 2D adventure game with a really cool cartoony art style. You arrive in the small town of Possum Springs, having dropped out of college and returned home. And all your friends are there, at least some of them are. Your old bandmates, your old pals, just working in stores and living the small town life. It's a really enjoyable mystery game. You come to the town, there's something strange going on. I won't go into much detail, but this is just a very enjoyable 2D adventure game, beautiful art style, great music, great setting. I'm about halfway through it and I'm loving every moment of it. Currently has, I think, $10 off, so it's $10 in the US eStore now. Maybe it's in the UK eStore too at a cut price. It's a great time to pick it up. That's Night in the Woods. Now, if there are any Italians out there, I want to ask you to forgive me for my pronunciation of this one, but it's a game called Mutazione, which is Italian for mutation. It's another 2D adventure, cartoony style, spotting a theme here in the kind of games I'm playing. You play someone who is going to an island where your grandparents live, as your grandfather is very sick. It starts off on a boat going over the ocean, a little bit like Oxenfree if you've played that one. Similar to that game in other ways too. You arrive on the island. It's populated by a very colourful cast of non-human and humanoid characters. You have to talk to them, start figuring out what's going on the island, get involved with the culture there, enjoy the summer sun, and start to untangle the mystery. I'm playing this one on the Epic Game Store. It's $20 there. You can also pick it up on PS4. It's not on Switch yet, but I wish it would be. It'd be perfect for Switch. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. Mutazione. Sorry again for that pronunciation. The final game I want to talk about today is called Donut County. It's a really cool, cute little indie game. It's on a deep sale at the minute on Switch, so I thought I'd give it a mention. I played it in the start of the new year. It's one of the first games I played this year, and I had a great time with it. Basically, there's a kind of a long-winded tale about a raccoon who's really making a mess out of his hometown by deploying small holes in the ground, which you control from scene to scene. And as you move your little hole around on the ground, things fall into it, so you have to find the smallest object first, maybe a coffee mug or something like that. And everything you catch makes the hole grow a little bit. It's got a slight gentle puzzle element to it. You have to find the small stones or grass until you can start dropping chairs, tables, people, houses. The list goes on. It takes a couple hours to complete. Very easy, very mellow, nice fun little story to it. Super enjoyable, and at $6.49, this is a really good pickup. It's mellow as hell. I think you'll have a good time with it. That's Donut County. So that's the episode. Thanks very much for listening. I hope you found something useful, some game that you want to try out, game that you want to play in this time when we're all stuck at home. We're all in it together. Speaking of which, one thing that's been keeping me going through this time has been the really wonderful community on Twitter talking about games. Please come and join in. I am at Gaming in the Wild. I'm on there every day posting screenshots and chit-chatting about games, because what else are we going to do right now? I'm also on Instagram at Gaming in the Wild. Come and say hello. I love to hear from people that are listening. Let me know what you thought of the games. Let me know what you thought of the show. Let's just have a chat. Okay, stay well out there. Love to you all. Bye bye.